Dashboard design principles management. The first thing you must do is know your audience for the dashboard. Who is actually going to consume the dashboard? Consume here means who's going to look at it. Normally, there's more than one audience. You have to look at the audience as far as the people that are going to be working with it day by day, and then you have to look at the audience as far as who is going to approve the design. And you have to work with both of those groups and gain their trust. And also, the way you might want to gain their trust is frequently get their input. Once we know our audience, we have to identify the metrics. Now, one of the difficulties we have in the land of being in IT or being a business analyst is perhaps we do not know the metrics that the audience is interested in. So therefore, it's helpful to go through and use what I call the Bayes method, after Reverend Bayes, where we go in and we're not really even sure the sun rose in the east in the morning. We confirm that by knowing our audience and asking our audience, did the sun rise in the east? In other words, what metrics are they interested in? When you're discovering the metrics, if this is your first time doing this, you will find that often the people that you are working with are not really sure of what they want to see. Now, you have to stay focused and keep it simple. Keep it very simple. As your dashboard grows, it needs to be simple in its base so that it can support more weight as it grows. Otherwise, if you have a complicated base, then it's going to collapse in and on itself. So keep it simple. You'll notice as we go through this course, the method that I use is the one I've actually used when I've had to work for a living. Oh boy, those were some bad old days. But when I worked for a living, we did this in iterations, and we saved every iteration. Just as you're going to do in this course, we're going to come through, and every time I make a change, I'll have a start, and then I'll have a complete, and we back on through. So that way we could go back and find out what happened. You also need to document all this stuff so that later on when someone's trying to understand why we did this, you can go back, and usually there's a pretty good reason for making these decisions, which may seem arbitrary at the time. Get feedback often, then iterate. So you want to go back to that audience, and when you're first starting this dashboard, they need to understand that you're going to be bothering them a lot, and they can't look at it as bothering, but what they have to look at is a quick little meeting, known in agile development as a scrum. So a quick little meeting, let's get focused. How are we doing from what we did yesterday? Do you like this? Do you don't like it? And then we move on. Now, remember that know your audience. You want to integrate the company brand in some way on your dashboard. Maybe the company has colors, they probably do, and they probably have a logo. You want to put that onto the dashboard because we are a team and you want that to come across. So those are the basics of design principles for dashboard.